Let's talk about something different. I guess it's kind of interesting because I just watched a movie today, which is called Dark Waters, which is a case some lawyers try to fight for the farmers who lost 100, almost 200 dairy cows because of the pollution caused by big company DuPont. They're making something that we all familiar. It's actually a household name. It's called a Teflon. It's been like almost 20 years. And then this lawyer, his name is Robert and then Dillon. He has been consistently struggling for the farmers and then taking on the big guys. And then in the end, we'll have a happy ending. But actually, it brought me my tear down. It was just really a touching moment. Um, that movie basically says that even a big company like DuPont, okay, they make billions of dollars even from Teflon again because the Teflon is actually I use that Teflon. I bet almost that all the family American householders use Teflon, the non-stick pans and then the pots. Okay, they're making it so, but it turns out to be so bad. Okay, they have something called a PFOP or something like that. I forgot it, but actually they nicknamed the C8. That is a component that the Teflon, DuPont actually internal test found out it's life threatening. Can cause all the deformations of the organs and face and then cancers, but they choose not to say it. They choose not to reveal it. Okay. So here's the question. I ask myself, I guess we all should ask ourselves that the movie, by the way, is made in 2019 and then it won some reward, but uh, obviously not in the Oscars. But here's the question that I ask myself, and you should too. Why is case like this it's more likely tend to let the justice prevail. In the Americans, then probably in many other states, even the democratic democracy states in Europe. Um, this is the question. This is obviously a $1 billion question, or even $1 trillion question, because without justice, people cannot focus on growing economy because they will divert their energy and time energy to fight the injustice, and that's really time consuming. If we had an environment that uh, encourage the justice, then the economy grows much faster. Here's the question. In the end, we know that DuPont ended up paying almost $700 million for all the people that I think about 3,500 people that already with cancer diagnosed with the cancer. But then obviously more are coming later. Again, back to the question: why would the Americans are more likely uh, to beat injustice? Okay, more than any other countries in the world, I would say. Um, there's something, if you look at the institutional economics, you would say, okay, that's because of democracy, but that's not the case. The same democracy, same democratic system, the other countries just not so um, easy for the little guys to fight the big guys. Okay, so here there's several reasons that we can list it. The first one is that we have a decentralized, independent legal system. Decentralized means that you can decide to sue somebody, what is the government or what is the big company. You don't have to go through the red tapes. You don't have to be approved by a government agency. You can just go ahead and find a lawyer and sue it. Okay, that's one thing. The second thing is we have a class action lawsuit, which make it don't overlook at this one because this makes a difference. A lot of people, if they don't have the resources, they're unlikely to even initiate the legal process. So that's why class actions make it beautiful because you don't have to be actively involved. When some people are fighting for you, for similar guys like you, and then you can at the end of the day you can actually get the benefit, get the win, become part of a win. And then third one is the contingency fee system. And again, this don't take it for granted. In some countries, they don't have they have a different system. So contingency fee basically means that the lawyer can take the risk and decide to fight for you. And then if the case is not a win, you didn't win the case, there's no charge. Again, that of course, obviously we have two sides. One on the one side is that encourage the litigation. So U.S. has a litigious culture, right? But on the other hand, we do have some positive side, which means that um, you don't have to prepay the lawyer in order to start the lawsuit. Okay, the lawyer takes the risk, and then a whole bunch of other things, for example, in the legal system, the independent, they can, and also legal system to the judge and the jury can be sympathetic to the victim, But even more important, the number three important is that the, disclosure system. They allowing the both side, especially the plaintiff, the people who started the suit, they have access to even the internal communications, emails, discussions, voicemails, and the memos, everything. By law, the company cannot, no matter how big it is, big companies like DuPont, they cannot say, "Hey, this is an internal sensitive information. You can't access to it." No, in the U.S., no, you have to do it. They actually have a law, against that. If you are cheating, if you're hiding, uh, that is that could be a felony, I believe. Okay, so this things together, especially the last one, that makes a big difference because in the end, the law, the fight is no longer just a legal dispute, but based on fact, based on the truth, based on the science. That's why for the other lawyer, Robert, his name, he collected like more than 60,000 blood samples. That's the biggest in the U.S. history, I believe. And then he sent this blood samples to the independent panel. That independent scientific panel actually, you know what? It took them 7 years to do the job. So again, here is the thing that people are just respecting science. Because they're independent. They really can. Their only mission is to find the truth, nothing but the truth. And then it takes 7 years, during which that Bob the lawyer, suffered a lot because he could not take cases. A lot of people in West Virginia, where that lawsuit happens, a lot of people, they believe that the DuPont is a good guy because they are the biggest employers. So a lot of people hate him, hate Rob, because they believe that he's just trying to get money, trying to get famous, and then even though DuPont is a good guy, a lot of people, they come to give the blood sample, but in the meantime, because they're going to be paid $400 by giving the blood, and then that obviously was attractive. But even though they give the blood, they still insist that the DuPont is a good guy. Okay, so it's just this is a very interesting. When you watch the movie, you see that how people act from a different side, different angles, different perspective. But in the end, we have winning case, and then DuPont ended up like paying almost $700 million for those people, And then I'm also glad to see that, actually, I did check online and found out, that Rob, the lawyer, played by, I forgot his name, Ruffalo, and then his wife is Anne Hesterman. A very good movie, very very good performance. So they ended up, recovering from the winning of the case. Again, remember that the contingency fee system. So I'm very glad. I hope you really encourage you to watch that movie and then find out what is the. So here again, going back to the engineers and lawyers, I think it doesn't matter whether you how many people you have engineering degrees. If you look at the Iran, Iran is a country. I think they have like even for the young people, and more than 90% of people have a college degree. But that doesn't really matter that much, because in the case of Iran, they have overeducated because there are so many people with degrees, but not enough people position offering for them. So that could happen for China too. So again, it doesn't matter how many people get education, get degrees. At the end of the day, it's respecting for science, respecting for fact, respecting for the law. That's what it matters. Okay, let's stop here.